We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it because first is who we are.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Pottsville Apache Baseball on the ASN. We have the Pottsville Apaches taking on the Ozark HillBillies, and we will come back and introduce the starting lineups after this 2-minute timeout.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
It's so hot, you're gonna think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not gonna believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
There comes a time in all of our lives when we need the help of legal services. Well, let Leah Jacobs at Heirloom Legal at 425 North Church Street in Atkins be your go-to when you are needing assistance. If you're needing a will or a trust, maybe you're helping an elder parent with Medicaid issues, or planning on opening a brand new business, maybe you have another legal need. Jacobs can help you plan your next step. That's Heirloom Legal helping.
And the stadium announcer, Kent Talent, hollers play ball as the two teams take the field. It is a conference matchup between the home team on the scoreboard, the Pottsville Apaches, and the visitors from the next couple of counties over, the Ozark HillBillies. Ozark will come into this game with a overall record of 6-5. Pottsville is 10-4 and leads the conference. Pottsville is undefeated at 3-0 in the league. We are just getting ready to get things started here. Ozark will send up the top three in their order. It will be Braden Bramucci, Ryder Harridge, and Richard Case to lead things off. If anyone gets on base, the catcher, Blaine Childress, will be the next hitter. The Apache defense lines up like this. Eli Morris will lead off and play center field. Keaton Ashmore, number 21, will bat second and play right field. Corey Greathouse will hit third. He is the shortstop for the Apaches. The number 4 hitter is behind the plate, number 12, Brady Morrison. The pitcher, Mason Vick, will bat fifth. The 6th hitter in the lineup today is Maddox Mergel. He will be followed by Braden Shaden, wearing number 3, the third baseman. Maddox is the first baseman. The number 8 hitter for the Apaches plays left field. That is William Snow. And then also thank you to Denali Water, Redmond Sports Event Center. Other sponsors making this stream possible: Firestone, Huntington Learning, Zach Wojtek, The Old Bank, Frank Griffin, Sparks Dental Service, Farm Credit Association, Newton's Pharmacy, Westside Family Clinic, Tyler Riley, Lighthouse, The Granite Shop, La Huerta, and Phil Wright, all sponsors of Pottsville Apache Baseball. Next hitter is Ryder Harridge. He is the center fielder. He'll step in to face Mason Vick. Mason, the right-hander. Short windup, brings it home. Swung on. High fly ball toward right field. The right fielder closes, and Ashmore makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So we've had 2 pitches and 2 outs.
That's awesome. Way to start.
That's pretty good.
I'll take it all day, Mason.
First one was 1-3 for the first out of the inning. Second one was a fly ball to the right fielder. And we have 2 down in the inning. Richard Case steps in the batter's box. I was pretty sure he was going to take the first pitch. Take it high for a ball. Can't let a pitcher get out of an inning only throwing 3 pitches. Vick winds and fires, brings it. Looked like that might have been a slider that swept outside, ball 2. So Mason has now doubled his pitch count in the first inning. It's up to 4. Mason Vick brings it home. And Case takes it high for ball 3.
You settle down right here, buddy.
Yeah, the more I watch baseball between here and I get the chance to do Ozarks games, the more I realize how much walks really hurt you. Called strike on the 3-0 pitch. It is just amazing how often base runners that get walked come around and score, and that's at all levels of baseball.
Yes, it is.
Vick with the 3-1 pitch, taken out of the zone, and there is the first base runner of the game via the walk. Richard Case takes his base at first and brings up the slugging catcher Blaine Childress. Mergel holds Case on at first base. Mason Vick concentrating on the next hitter, Childress. Runner is holding. Pitch taken for called strike 1. I believe we had this umpire on the Dardanelle game, and his strike zone is very, very consistent.
Yeah, Phil does a great job.
Throw to first. Diving back in ahead of the tag is Case. Vick might have had him leaning a little bit, but Case got in. Wasn't really that close. 2 down, nobody on. We're in the top of the first. Mason Vick, the Apache pitcher, with an 0-1 pitch to Blaine Childress, the catcher. Runner is going. Pitch taken high. Mortensen fires to second. Throw skips away from the Apache second baseman Aiken covering, and that'll be a stolen base. At least on my score sheet, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, no error there.
No, I don't think if the throw had been on target, I don't think they would have had him. I believe the pitch was taken out of the zone, so it's a ball and a strike now on Blaine Childress. Hillbillies have a runner in scoring position at second. Mason Vick brings in a strike 2. And you'll have to forgive me, I won't try to tell you what the pitch is very often. We have a good angle to see the plays in the field, but I don't have a good look or feel for what the ball is doing as it crosses the plate. But I do know it's a 1-2 pitch with 2 down. Mason Vick swung on. Fly ball by Childress. This has got some depth. The Apache right fielder making a dive for the ball. He did not come up with it. Or did he catch it? He caught it.
Wow.
Catch in the right field by Ashmore for the out of the inning. I would have swore I saw that ball pop out of his glove. I think what might have happened is it may have popped out of his glove and popped right back in it. 3 outs. Yeah, what a good play by the Pottsville Apache right fielder. So in the first inning, Ozark puts a base runner on. He is stranded at second base. No runs, no hits, no errors, and there was 1 left on base. We'll come back with the Apache's first at-bat after this timeout.
Depression. Nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pod. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Sparkling play in right field by Keaton Ashmore. I thought I saw the ball pop out of his glove as he made the dive. However, he covered it up. He either never popped out or he covered it up, and I'm looking right in the sun when I look that direction. So great play by Ashmore for the 3rd out of the inning to retire the Hillbillies in order. We had a chance to talk with assistant coach Stephen Morgan before the game, and that's one of the things he talked about. He wanted to get a fast start.
Yes, we need it.
And so far, so good. That's about as good a start as you can get on defense.
Yeah, that's it's great defensive effort by the right fielder out there. He made two big plays right there to get us out of the inning.
That's one thing I noticed about this Apache team. Their defense is just solid.
Yeah, they play really good in the field.
This is my 8th inning of watching them, and I have yet to see an error. Now, the throw on the stolen base, you could have charged an error there, but I don't think the official scorer will. I don't know that the throw had been right on the base. It would have been in time to nail the base runner. He got a good jump. All right, for the Apaches, they'll lead off the center fielder, Eli Morris. And batting second, Keaton Ashmore, who made the 2 sparkling plays in right field. 3rd hitter is the shortstop, Corey Greathouse. And Brady Morrison, the catcher, will bat if anybody should get on base. Ozark with no runs in their half of the first. Apache's coming to bat. And by the way, you could probably hear the wind whistling into my microphone. That wind is blowing straight in from center field.
It actually might not be too bad, Steve. I went back and listened to the last game, and that we had brutal wind that game too. Never came through hardly on the mic. It was nice.
Good job. All right, glad to hear that. Cade Kendrick's first delivery is taken outside. I got to realize I got a left-handed batter, Eli Ashmore, in the box, so to him, that's outside.
Lefties guy.
Well, you don't get anything past me, do you? 1-0 pitch coming to the leadoff hitter for Pottsville. That had some bend to it. Curves out of the zone for ball 2.
I'll poke fun at lefties. My best friend's a lefty, and I've been giving him crap for it for 20 years.
Next pitch by Cade Kendrick. Morris looks at a fastball for a called strike.
Good pitch in there.
Probably taking all the way on the 0-2 pitch, just leading the inning off. Eli hits the ball on the ground. He's got speed. The defense won't have time to mess with it. 2-1 pitch taken high and outside, 3-1. I suspect this also may be an automatic take. Apache's come into this game at 10-4 overall. They've played some good baseball this year. Kendrick brings it home. Swung on, fly ball. So much for the automatic take. That's going to center field. Haraj surrounds it and then makes the catch. First out of the inning. Fly ball to the center fielder for the out. We'll bring up Keaton Ashmore, the right fielder.
If I'm a batter, I'm trying to put something on the ground. Ain't no telling, after all this right now, no telling what a ball's going to do when it hits that ground.
Yeah, the Apache coaches and staff have done a wonderful job of getting this field where it's even playable, but you can see some divots out there. 1 down of the inning. Keaton Ashmore, the next hitter. Kendrick brings it home. High for a ball. I'm mildly surprised that Morris had the green light there on 3-1, but I like it. Let the batters hit. Speaking of, line drive up the middle. There's the first hit of the game. Keaton Ashmore with a nice stroke. Base hit back up the middle. Hit it where it was pitched.
Good aggressive at bat.
He stayed on that pitch very well, too. That might have been a curveball that was breaking, and Ashmore did a good job staying on it, drove it right back up to center field. You try to pull that pitch, you'll play pepper with a shortstop. So 1 on, 1 out. Corey Greathouse, the shortstop, will be the next hitter. Wonder if Ashmore is going to be going here. Kendricks thinks so as he's throwing to first.
Carter, will you zoom in somebody? A little bit more.
Ashmore takes his lead and maybe a step longer. Kendrick comes set at the belt. He is going. Nope, and comes back. Started, then dove back in. Smart throw by the catcher. Childers trying to throw it behind Ashmore at first, but Ashmore changed directions just in time. I guess he didn't feel like he had a good jump. Actually, it's probably hard to steal bases on with all the turf dry that's out there. Here comes the next pitch. Taken for a called strike. Kind of thought Greathouse might be taking a pitch there to try to give the base runner Ashmore a chance to get going towards second base. Scoreboard says 0-2. I only have 0-1, so we'll see here. Kendricks comes set and deals. Pitch taken out of the zone for a ball. I am very likely incorrect on my score sheet because I don't know that I wrote down the pitch where the catcher threw behind the base runner at first. That could have been a strike. So we'll go with a scoreboard, a ball and 2 strikes. Another check at first.
They're missing a pitch on the scoreboard. He's on 4 pitches this at bat.
So we're going to go with a ball and 2 strikes to the number 3 hitter, Corey Greathouse for the Apaches. He'd like to get the runner Ashmore into scoring position. Swung on, foul ball right toward my truck here on the right side. It didn't get it. At least I didn't hear anything go crash. Well, we know it's a 2-strike count now.
It's a 2-strike count now.
No question about that. Greathouse will step back in again. He's got to protect. Ashmore, I think, is widening his lead by a step. They see that and they throw over. One way I can tell he's widening his lead a little bit is because you can see the dugout of the cleats in the ground. 1-2 pitch coming. Ashmore at first. He starts, stops, and strike three over the outside corner is called with a good pitch. And Corey Greathouse goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That was a good pitch.
Yes, it was.
It froze Corey. He couldn't pull the trigger on it. Got the outside corner, and there are 2 down in the inning. Brady Morrison, the catcher, the number 4 hitter, the cleanup batter for the Apaches, steps in. Ashmore still at first base. Kendrick has his sign, brings it home. Taken out of the zone, ball 1. Two down in the inning. Eli Morris hit a fly ball to the center fielder. Corey Greathouse took strike 3. Swung on, ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. His throw across to first, close, but out at first. Good hustle by Morrison, but could not quite beat the throw from Case over to first base. So no runs. There was 1 base hit, 1 runner left on base, no errors. We'll go to the top of the second. There is no score.
Just like the Apaches, I am here to help you score big. Regardless if you are buying or selling, I'll guide you every step of the way. You can call me at 479-970-5079 and we'll connect the dots on getting you where you are trying to go. Speaking of going, let's go Apaches!
No scores. We go to the top of inning number 2. Both teams had a base runner in the first inning, and both pitchers were able to strand that base runner. Evan King, the right fielder, will lead it off for the Hillbillies. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Cade Kendrick, and then Jackson Ross, the first baseman. Mason Vick kind of slipped on that last throw. It's got to be slick out there anywhere there's dirt on the field. I mean, the coaches worked just as hard as they could to make this field playable, and it's not bad, but it's not great either. As Vick continues his warm-up. Big week for Apache baseball. Pottsville hosting this game. This is a makeup from Friday's game, and then tomorrow Waldron will be in town. The Hillbillies will be visiting. Or the Hillbillies, the visitors here. The Waldron Bulldogs will be visiting tomorrow. The coaches have told us that game is going to be played, but Waldron was out of school today. I don't know that they're going to school tomorrow.
I don't think they can. Their school looks to be a mess.
Yeah. Oh, boy, yeah. Say a prayer for those folks there in the Waldron School District. They're building, and it's a fairly new facility, but they got a bad break on the weather. They had so much hail so quickly that some of the brand-new roof came up and water got inside from there, and there's water damage all over the place. And I think both the elementary and the junior high.
Yeah. I believe it was both schools. Saw a video on Facebook, and it did not look pretty.
Yeah, all things considered, we got away pretty good in this last round of storms. Mason Vick back to the bump for his second inning of work. He sends the first one on the way to King, and the pitch is taken low for ball 1. Evan King, the right fielder, will lead things off. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Cade Kendrick, and then the first baseman, Jackson Ross. Vick fires at home. Pitch taken high for a ball. One thing I like about Mason Vick is he works quickly.
Yeah, don't waste no time up there.
Well, that's a way to keep your defense lively, too. He gets a sign and rocks and fires. 2-0 pitch. Fast strike over the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. That pitch had some life on it.
It had a little pop on the glove.
You could hear that glove pop all the way over here down the first base line. 2-1 pitch coming. Turned it over. Caught the corner. Strike 2. So Mason Vick has battled back to even the count with the right fielder Evan King. 2-2 pitch. Low and in the dirt. That's probably where you wanted that, though. See if you could get King to commit to swing to one out of the zone. He did not. Early on, it would appear the Hillbillies have good batting eyes. 3-2 pitch. Fastball challenged him. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Vick takes his time, makes the throw that's high, but a nice job by the first baseman, Mergel, coming up with the out. And there's one down in the inning.
take that. Good start.
Yes, it was. That ball was hit right back to Vick. He didn't field it cleanly, but he did not panic either. Knocked it down, picked it up, and then made the throw to first. So 1 out of the inning. The Hillbilly pitcher, Cade Kendricks, will bat now. I'm not sure that is Kendrick. First pitch, swung on, high fly ball. This has got some depth to it. The Apache left fielder, though, camps on and makes the catch. Yeah, that was Evan King with a high fly ball to Snow in left. I thought that ball had a little more carry to it, but I think the wind may have knocked it down.
Oh, yeah, the wind high up there is just a whipping.
Kind of suspected this game might be a pitcher's duel with that wind howling in from center field. Snow got a good jump on that ball to make the catch. 2 down of the inning. Jackson Ross, the first baseman, steps in. Bats from the right side. Mason Vick brings it home. Fouled out of play to the right side. And it hits well to the left of my truck. I don't guess we get to keep those, do we?
No, you used to get a free Coke at the concession stand when you picked up a foul ball, but those days are long gone.
0-1 pitch coming. Swung on, line drive, right back up the middle for a clean single for Jackson Ross. First hit of the ball game for the Hillbillies is a clean single. Once again, as I mentioned on the Apache single, that's a good job of hitting. Just hit it where it was pitched. Second base runner of the game, first via the base hit, is Jackson Ross. The first, is it's supposed to have been Ross.
Got a pinch runner in there.
Yeah, we got a courtesy runner now in the game. Evan Fain is the courtesy runner, number 22. He's at first, takes his lead. Vick brings it home, swung on, high fly ball. This will be an adventure if it stays fair. Third baseman for the Apache, Shadden, tracks it, and it's out of play. Jackson Ross, the first baseman, left-handed hitter. Fly ball is strike 1. Mason Vick with 2 down in the inning, 1 runner on. Checks at first. Pinch runner Fain dives back in safely. Fain stretches the lead. He's off. Morrison with a good pitch to handle. His throw to second base is not in time. Fain slid into the base. A good job of a little bit of a decoy there by Smarthouse. He couldn't come up with a throw, but faked like he did. Throw went into center field, but they kept the runner at second base. So Fain now in scoring position out at second base. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch coming to the number 9 hitter, the left fielder, Jesse Taff. Jackson Ross, I should say. Line drive, base hit to center field. Now, Fain did not get a good jump on that. Throw coming toward the plate, and it's a good one, and it is all the way through on the fly to hold the base runner at third. Good play by Morris in center field.
He got a strong arm. It was a good throw to home.
Morris charged that ball, caught it on the big hop, and threw a strike to Brady Morrison at the plate. Even with 2 down, if Ozark tries to score him there, he's going to be out by a long way. 2 down in the inning. I believe this is the left fielder, Jesse Taff, with 2 runners on base. Pitch taken, called strike.
That was a good pitch for Mason to come back to.
Oh, 1 pitch coming, 2 down in the inning, 2 runners on. Swung on, tipped foul. So now Mason Vick within a strike of getting out of this inning and stranding the 2 runners. Jesse Taff in the hole now. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners on. 0-2 pitch coming. I don't know that they will waste a pitch here. They went after him. He fouled off a good high fastball. If Taft can keep things going, Hillbillies will be back to the top of the order. Bermucci would be the next hitter. No score in this game. We're in the top of the second. Mason Vick trying to pitch out of a jam here. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. It gets past the catcher, Morrison, and Fain will come home on the wild pitch. So Fain, the runner at third base, comes home on the wild pitch for the first run of the ball game. I don't know if it was that ball in the dirt. It took kind of a funny hop. So now the third base coach comes in. Do we have a pinch runner coming in this situation?
Yeah, they changed. I didn't know you could do that. I thought it was only one courtesy runner.
Well, I guess they may be making a change here. So runner at second base, 1 run home. Swung on, line drive down the left field line. It is a fair ball. 1 run will score. Or do they call it foul? They called it foul. I have no way to see it from here. Pinch runner is Easton Sampley, number 4. So just a long, loud strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, pitch taken low. Morrison stops this one to prevent any advance. So the pitch runner, Sampley, holds at second. 2 down in the inning. Braden Bermucci is the hitter. Pickoff play at second base. Pitch runner able to dive back in. Apaches thought they'd see if they could catch the pinch runner Sampling not paying attention, but he was onto it. Two ball, 2 strike pitch coming.
Got him.
Over the outside corner, called strike 3, and the Apaches are out of the inning. The Hillbillies score 1 run on 2 base hits. There was 1 runner left on base. The Hillbillies after 2 have taken a 1-0 lead. The Apache half of the second inning is coming up next.
We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it because first is who we are.
Welcome back. Pottsville Apache baseball conference action. Hillbillies on the scoreboard first. They score a run with a couple of hits in the top of the second inning. The Apaches did strand a runner at third base. It'll be Cade Kendricks back to the mound. He'll face Mason Vick, Maddox Mergel, Brandon Shadden, and William Snow if anybody gets on base. Kind of in a holding pattern here as the first baseman for the Hillbillies gets all his gear back on. Now we're ready to go. Cade Kendricks gave up 1 hit in the first inning, but able to strand that base runner. Big Big right-hander Mason Vick steps in. Kendrick comes set, brings it home. Pitch taken for a called strike. Give this pitcher Kendrick one thing. He's gotten in front of the hitters.
Consistently.
Yep. Oh, 1 pitch coming to Mason Vick. Leadoff hitter for the Apaches in the second. That's taken high for a ball. So let's see what Cade Kendricks brings home for the 1-1 pitch. Looked like a changeup, but it was high. I think I could visually see his arm slow down on that pitch is what makes me think it was a changeup. 2-1 pitch coming. Kendrick also works fast. He brings it home. Mason Vick with a vicious rip, but he fouled it straight back. Vick saw a pitch he wanted, just couldn't quite catch up to it. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. To the Apache leadoff hitter, Pottsville trails 1-0 as they hit in the home half of the second. Cade Kendrick brings it home, taking a high, ball 3. Full count. Let's see what Mason Vick gets to look at here. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fly ball toward right field. Second baseman HillBillies calling for it and makes the catch. Rawson with the nice catch. He called that all the way and tracked it in short right field. And the next hitter will be Maddox Mergel.
Good contact, but again, he hit stuff in the air today. It's gonna slow up and be easier for a fielder to catch it.
Yep.
Want to drive the ball onto the ground today.
Maddox Mergel, the first baseman, will step in. 1 down in the inning. Ozark pushed across a run in the top of this inning. Pitch taken over the outside corner for a called strike.
Curveball froze him there.
That is not what Maddox was looking for. 0-1 pitch. Showed him the fastball out of the zone. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Stephen Glenn, Justin Smith here. In inning number 2. Cade Kendrick dropped down sidearm, but missed with the pitch low and in the dirt. It's the first time we've seen him throw from that angle. 2-1 pitch coming to Mergel. Swung on and missed. I think he turned that one over. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Kendrick comes set. Short windup, brings it home. Swung on and missed. Fastball, strike out. Second strike out of the game for Kendrick, and the Apaches have 2 down in the inning.
Great song choice.
Chad in the batter. 2 down in the inning. Nothing happening so far. Kendrick turned that one over.
No golf today, son.
No. I think I may have the Apache batting order not correct. Next pitch taken for a ball. I believe that's Jace Aiken batting.
Good to see him even being able to be on a field after what that young man's gone through the past couple of years.
2 down in the inning. Pitch coming home. Swung on. Swung through it. I am going to stick with my batting order. I'm going to believe that's Brandon Shaden, I'm sorry. My apologies. Ball and 2 strikes. The catcher, Childers, walks the ball back out to his pitcher. 1-2 pitch coming. 2 down in the inning. Kendrick brings it home. High pitch fouled out of play. One ball, 2 strikes after the foul, straight back, 2 down in the inning. You know, one thing, you come to the plate, it looks like this Cade Kendrick's going to throw strikes.
Yeah, he's got pretty good control.
Doesn't appear to throw overly hard, but does have good movement. 1-2 pitch coming. Swung on, nice swing, line drive, base hit. That's down the left field line. That's going to go to the wall. Shaden will round first, head to second base. Left fielder Taft picks it up cleanly and gets back into the infield. And the Apaches have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs on the double. Pulled it right down the line. Left fielder William Snow, the next hitter. Second Apache hit of the ball game. They need a third one here. Jockeying behind the runner at second. Now Kendrick comes set. Everybody's back defensively. First pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. Runner at second base. 2 outs. 1-0. Hillbillies with the lead. Apaches need a base hit to possibly tie it here. Snow digs back in. A 1 pitch coming to him. Fastball, that's that one you can hear popping in the glove, but it was out of the zone for a ball. That's probably exactly where Kendrick wanted that pitch, though. Wanted to see if he could get the hitter to go after something out of the zone. Runner has a short lead at second base. Kendrick steps off. So Shaden walks back to the base. Took him like 1 step.
Yeah, he didn't have a big lead at all.
But he's getting a bigger secondary lead. Kendrick will bring it home. Foul out of play. Snow had a fastball to take a rip at, but couldn't quite catch up to it. It's now a ball and 2 strikes.
Got to protect the plate here, Mr. Snow.
Yep. William Snow, the left fielder, with a RBI at second base. But he's down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cade Kendrick would love to strand the runner there. Pitch fouled out of play to the right side. Several of the Apache. This young man, Kendrick, must be throwing harder than I think he is, because a number of the Apache hitters have been late on swings. A lot of foul balls our direction down the right field line. Kendricks has his sign. We'll get another 1-2 pitch with a runner at second and 2 down. They step off and throw to second. Base runner Shadden back in. Well ahead of the throw. We may get a 1-2 pitch this time. We'll see. Shadden takes his lead. Kendricks comes set. Snow looks at a high fastball grounded down the third base line. If this stays fair, they'll not throw anybody out, and it does.
Wow. I'll take it.
Kind of a swinging bunt, if you will. So the infield hit. We'll put Snow at first base. Brandon Shaden will be at second. And Jace Aiken will be the batter.
There was nobody ready for that one.
Well, and the only player who could have made a play on it was Cade Kendrick. And he probably did the right thing, because if he picks that up and tries to rifle it to first and throws it away, we have a tie ball game. See if the Apaches can take advantage of that break. Snow takes a very good lead at first base. Now he walks back over a little bit. Would the Apaches try to steal a run here? Jace Aiken, the second baseman, right-handed hitter, steps in. Snow at first is looking kind of runnerish. He is holding. Fastball taken out of the zone. Ball 1. Kind of looked like Kendrick might have been trying to get a little extra on that fastball that stayed high. Be interesting to see here if Coach Sandifer put something on here. 0-1 pitch. Fake to first. I couldn't see. Kendrick must have stepped off before he faked to first. Otherwise, that's a balk.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him. I honestly could not. I'm screened out by the first baseman there. So he must have stepped off. 1-0 pitch coming out. 2 on, 2 down. Fastball taken inside. Aiken got out of the way of that one. The runner at third base, Brandon Shaden, he reached via the double. William Snow with a base hit. Next one on the way to Aiken, taken inside for a ball. Jace is battling. If Aiken can keep the inning alive, we'll come back up to the top of the order for Eli Morris. 1-0, Hillbillies with a precarious lead as the Apaches have 2 on but 2 out. Pitch taken low and away, and it is ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So the bases will be loaded. And Eli Morris will bat with the bases full of Apaches.
Just needs solid contact, get into the outfield.
Let's see if Eli maybe tries to ambush a fastball here. Kendrick has his sign. Morris steps in the left-handed batter's box. I'm sitting dead red on this pitch. There it was, called strike. That's what Cade Kendrick wanted to do. He wanted to get ahead in that count. Apaches have the bases loaded. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball toward the hole. Second baseman has it. His throw to first, just a half step ahead, and the inning is over. So the Apaches leave the bases loaded. They get no runs on 2 base hits. We will go around to the top of inning number 3. Ozark leads it 1-0.
Depression. Nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Tough chance there. The Apaches leave the bases loaded. Tried to come up with a 2-run rally, but had no such luck. So it's 1-0, Hillbillies with the lead. Mason Vick back to the mound for his 3rd inning of work.
Need some good defense behind Mason this inning.
Brandon Bermucci will lead the inning off.
Speaking of good defense, how about the Arkansas Razorback baseball team right now? Man.
Well, it's easy to play defense when you're scoring 18 runs a game.
Hey.
Well, they just buried the Missouri Tigers, didn't they?
That was, I think, what, Missouri scored 7 runs the whole weekend?
Yeah, a total of 7.
And I think Arkansas scored 30.
Yeah, I think Missouri broke on top on all 3 games, didn't they? First pitch to Bermucci leading off the inning for Mason Vick, taken for a called strike. I know at least 2 of the 3 games the Tigers got out early, but didn't last for long. Vick to Bermucci, grounds it to third. Straight over the top throw from Shadden to first base, and the hitter is retired. 6-3 for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, the Hogs got put number 1 this week over Tennessee, and about time. They just hit the balls any team I've seen.
Ryder Harridge, the next hitter. He is the center fielder. One down. Mason Vick's first offering. Catches the corner with a fastball for a called strike. Hillbillies with a 1-0 lead as they hit in the top of the third inning. Mason Vick has given up 1 run on 2 base hits. Bringing a pitch here low and in the dirt, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Yeah, that Arkansas offense is very impressive. They just absolutely murdered the ball. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Fastball for a call for a swinging strike.
And it's top to bottom on the order. They
Yeah.
all hit.
Yep, everybody's hitting. 1-2 pitch.
Oh,
Change speeds on a curveball. I guess it was a little bit outside. Again, I don't have the angle to see inside or out. Two pitch taken. It's called a ball. 3-2.
come right down the pipe this time, Mason.
Yeah, I imagine this is going to be a fastball. Harridge steps in. There it is. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the ball game for Mason Vick. That was just a little good old-fashioned country hardball there. Richard Case, the shortstop, he reached via the walk and was stranded at second base after a steal. First pitch to him, taken over but low, ball one. High and low in the zone we can see from down here, at least to right-handed hitters. Second pitch, swung on, fouled back, just got a piece of it. Case fouled off a good fastball there. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Brady Morrison walks the ball back out there. I was wondering for a second if maybe he got crossed up, but they didn't talk for very long, so Morrison probably just wanted to stretch his legs a little bit, you think?
Yeah, I'd want to. Ain't no way I'm going to be behind that plate that long.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down of the inning. Nothing going on for the moment for the Hillbillies. Case the batter. He has a 1-1 count. Vicks deals and taken out of the zone. Ball 2. I don't know if the fans could hear the Hillbilly dugout or not, but they are really into this game. 2-1 pitch, swung on, grounded toward the left side. Third baseman Shadden with an over-the-top throw, and it is over the first baseman. Brady Morrison hustling down, backing the play up. He'll go over and tag the runner in case he turned the other way, but he did not. I hate to do this, but I think you probably have to score that an error. Throw would have had him. So the Hillbillies have a runner on first base via the error. Childress the batter. Runner at first, 2 down in the inning. Pitch taken for a ball. Batter looking down toward third to get some signs. Blaine Childress ahead in the count. A ball and no strikes. Swung on. High fly ball toward right center field. Center fielder Morris calls off the left fielder Snow and makes the catch. And the wind definitely killed that one. So 3 outs in the inning. Ozark gets 1 run. It was via an error and 1 runner left on base. Apaches hitting in the bottom of the third, trailing 1-0.
Just like the Apaches, I am here to help you score big. Regardless if you are buying or selling, I'll guide you every step of the way. You can call me at 479-970-5079 and we'll connect the dots on getting you where you are trying to go. Speaking of going, let's go Apaches!
Well, that wind's whipping into the Apache field here like Wrigley Field with the wind whipping in off Lake Michigan. That wind is cold.
Yeah, it is.
I think the actual air temperature is about 60, but it feels much colder than that.
That's why I wore my bib overalls and a hunting jacket, Steve.
Well, I may need some heaters for my hands or gloves or something. Pottsville trails this game 1-0. Pottsville has 3 hits in the game. They stranded the bases loaded last time. But that was a 2-out rally. They had 2 down before they started collecting base runners, and close play at first prevented the Apaches from scoring. It was close, but the leadoff hitter, Morris, was out. Got him by a half step.
Yeah, hate it, but yeah, it was the right call.
We have a pretty good angle for plays at first base. Cade Kendrick back to the mound. I'm not sure who Ozark plays tomorrow. In fact, I'm not even 100% sure they do play.
Well, the schedule being all messed up from last week, ain't no telling what's going to happen this week.
Yeah, it's definitely a mess. Keaton Ashmore will lead the inning off. He'll be followed by Corey Greathouse and Brady Morrison, rather. His mama's going to get me for that. 1-0, Ozark with the lead. Third time around the order for Cade Kendricks. Sometimes that's the tough time for starting pitchers when they've seen you a couple of times already. Kendricks brings home the first pitch, taking over the outside corner for a called strike. Cade Kendricks has his sign, brings it home. That fastball is high. Kind of looks like, if I had to write a scouting report on Cade Hendricks, he kind of shows the fastball out of the zone, and then he wants to come get you with the off-speed stuff, either a slider or curveball. 1-1 pitch coming. Fastball taken just off the corner, misses. Evens the count at 2-1. His off-speed stuff does move a whole lot. Hard to square the bat up on his pitches. 2-0 pitch on the way. Swinging strike on the fastball. That was in a good spot, though. That was low at the knees and evens the count at 2-2. Good pitch by Cade Kendrick. First batter of the inning, home half of the third. Ozark with a 1-0 lead. Sidearm fastball lifted toward right center field, and the shortstop, Case, makes the catch. I thought for a moment that might get down, but Case showed good range to his left to make the catch.
Good defense by the Ozark shortstop there.
Yep. Case got a good jump. He was moving toward it right off the bat. He saw it all the way. So Ashmore is retired on an F6. Corey Greathouse, the next batter. He struck out in inning number 1, swung through a fastball. Cade Kendrick brings it home. Fastball for a called strike. Both pitchers throwing a lot of strikes, and why not with the wind blowing straight in. Kendrick brings home an 0-1 offering. Swung on, pounded into the dirt towards second base, and the throw is in time. Rawson with a good play charging the ball. That was his only chance. If he'd laid back on it, it'd have been a base hit. Greathouse about a half step from getting a base hit, but he is retired. 2 down in the inning. Brady Morrison, the catcher, will bat now for the Apaches. Nothing going on in the home half of the third so far. Cade Kendrick has been very good so far. Morrison steps in. He'd like to find a pitch to drive. Fastball taken low and outside. It will take an Aaron Judge type drive to get it out of the ballpark today.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't get it to the fence. My life depended on it.
Yeah, I'd have to hit it 3 times. 1 ball, no strike pitch on the way to Brady Morrison. He checks his swing. Foul to the first base side is out of play on top of the spectators' protection. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch coming from Cade Kendrick to Brady Morrison for the Apaches with 2 down in the inning. Sidearm swung on and missed. That's about the 3rd time Kendrick has dropped down to throw sidearm coming from a different angle. Got that one past the Apache catcher, Brady Morrison. He's now down a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch on the way. Taken high for a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Morrison had quite a cut on that pitch, too. He had something he liked. Just couldn't quite catch up to it. 2-2 pitch coming with 2 outs in the inning to Brady Morrison of the Apaches. Cade Kendrick, the Hillbilly starter, brings it home. Swung on, line drive towards center field. Center fielder Harridge starts back, steps in, and makes the catch. The wind definitely killed that ball. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Apaches. We'll go to the top of the 4th with the Hillbillies on top, 1-0.
We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it because first is who we are.
Hillbillies lead it 1-0. Pitching dominated ball game here in Pottsville. That's probably been dictated by the wind as much as anything, although both pitchers are throwing a lot of strikes.
Yeah, both pitchers are performing really good on the mound right now.
I believe it'll be King, Kendrick, and Ross, first 3 in this inning. Mason Vick would like to retire without any damage here and get his offense back on the field. Ozark has a run on 2 hits. They've been out hit in this game, 4-2, I believe. But lead it 1-0, which is all that matters. I said King. I am sorry. It's Colton Rawson to lead off the inning. He was retired on a fly ball to the right fielder. Back in the first inning is 0 for 1. The umpire dusting off the plate. That's got to be a full-time job trying to keep that plate clean in this wind. I mean, the field is pretty dry, considering all things considering, but you're still getting a bunch of dirt kicked around. Right-hander Mason Vick brings it home. Over the outside corner for a called strike. And we are underway in the top of the 4th. Big right-hander for the Apaches. Mason Vick brings it home. Change speeds, caught the corner. He's ahead on the count 0-2. Mason Vick is a very good athlete. Very good linebacker for the Apache football team. Also pretty good ball carrier from the fullback spot.
Yeah, he handles the ball pretty well.
0-2 pitch with a high fly ball. Mason Vick, the pitcher, calls for it and makes the catch.
Attaboy.
Not something you see in your score sheet very often. F1. Next batter will be the right-handed hitting right fielder, Evan King. He swings at the first offering, grounds it toward first. Vick cuts it off, underhands it to first, and there's 2 down in the inning. Smart play by Vick there. That was probably going to roll foul, but Vick saw an easy play in front of him, and he took it. A 1-3 on the putout for the second out of the inning.
My personal opinion, the best pitchers out there are the ones that can field their position. And Mason has done a good job fielding his position today.
He's had three chances, and he's handled them all cleanly. Cade Kendrick, the pitcher, steps in. He looks at a fast strike. Mason Vick gets ahead of the count. 1-0. Hillbillies, 2 down in the inning. Kendrick looks at that pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. One pitch. Swung on, high fly ball toward center field. Morris is tracking it, and he has the catch for the third out of the inning. The Hillbillies get no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're halfway home, going to the bottom of the fourth. Ozark 1, Pottsville nothing.
Depression. Nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Hillbillies lead it 1-0. Kind of afraid the wind is blowing our data packets everywhere. We apologize if we're having some streaming issues. We've doing the best we can with access out here, but there have been all kinds of problems with internet and everything else with the power outages we had. If you recall this or not, but Pottsville Elementary, we had to dismiss the whole district because of a power outage at the elementary on Friday.
Yeah, that was a long cluster of cars getting in and out. I tell you what.
I figured you'd remember.
Yeah. It took me 10 extra minutes than normal. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but that 2-lane in front of the school is not good for traffic.
Yeah, it can be frustrating. Cade Kendrick back to the mound. He'll bring his first pitch of his fourth inning of work home to Mason Vick, his mound opponent, leading off the bottom of the fourth. Swung on, fly ball toward right field. Second baseman Rawson tracks that for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Doesn't get any more efficient than that. That's the second time Mason Vick has hit a fly ball to the second baseman. I think Mason's making a concerted effort to try to go to right field, but just can't quite make solid contact. 1 down in the inning. Maddox Mergel will step in. He was a strikeout victim in his first time at bat. Cade Kendrick has 2 strikeouts in the game. Lots of balls being put in play, but good defense by both sides. Fastball taken just off the zone. Childers tried to bring it back in, but the umpire was having none of that. 1-0 pitch coming. Swung on, line drive towards left field, and the outfielder Taft tracks that and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Talk about a little bit of bad luck at the plate.
Brenton Shandon will step in. He is the closest the Apaches have come to scoring with this game. He had a 2-out double back in the second. Got to third on an infield hit, but then was stranded. He'll bat with 2 outs. Scoreboard says 1, but I'm pretty sure there are 2 outs. First pitch on the way. Fly ball high in the air. I think that's going to go out of play. Yeah, behind the Apache dugout. Yeah, Mason Vick hit a fly ball to the second baseman, and then Maddox Mergel hit a fly ball to the left fielder. So there's 2 down in the inning. Shaden is down on the count 0-1. Kendrick, the right-hander, brings it home. Swung on, ground ball. Shortstop Case fields it cleanly. His throw across the diamond, and the Coach Siebenmorgan thought the first baseman was off the base. And he said he talked to the home plate umpire about it. We had a pretty good look at it. I didn't see it. And they are going to say the out was recorded at first base. Well, you can't blame a guy for trying.
Nope.
The Apaches get no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Top of the fifth coming with Ozark leading 1-0.
Just like the Apaches, I am here to help you score big. Regardless if you are buying or selling, I'll guide you every step of the way. You can call me at 479-970-5079 and we'll connect the dots on getting you where you are trying to go. Speaking of going, let's go Apaches!
Fast-moving ball game so far.
Yeah, we're getting in and out here, that's for sure.
That's what happens on pitchers' duels. Mason Vick, speaking of pitchers, will be back at the mound. Leadoff hitter will be the first baseman, Jackson Ross. He'll be followed by Jesse Taff, and then back around to the top of the order for Braden Bumucci. Ross had a base hit. Then his pinch runner, Thane, stole a base, and he has scored the only run of the ball game. Hillbillies have 1 run on 2 hits. Mason Vick wants to keep it close for the Apaches. His first pitch of the 5th inning. He kind of dropped down sidearm, caught the corner for a strike. Vick right back at it after he has the count ahead. Second pitch, ground ball towards second base. Fielded cleanly by Aiken. His throw across is in time. And the first out of the inning is recorded.
Love it.
I kind of think Ross was trying to go to right field on that pitch too, but grounded to the second baseman, and Aiken was true on the play. 1 down in the inning. Jesse Taft, the hitter now for the Hillbillies. Vick's first offering to him stays high, ball 1.
I wouldn't be trying to go to right field. He's done made 2 big plays today. I wouldn't give him a shot at a third.
Hey, the wind has calmed down for a moment. Next pitch, fouled straight back. Souvenir for Kent Talent in the press box there. Evens the count at a ball and a strike on the foul ball. 1 out, nobody on. Hillbillies lead at 1-0. Well-played game so far as we play in the top of the 5th.
Got him.
Fastball swung on and missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. I kind of suspect Mason may come right after him, too. Curveball, he did. Called strike 3. That for Mason Vick is his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. There are 2 down in the inning. Back around to the top of the order for Braden Bumucci. He's 0 for 2 in this game so far. A lot of 0-fers on both teams. Vick brings it home. Swung on. Fly ball toward right field. A long run for the right fielder, Ashmore. The ball falls foul, though.
Whew.
Ashmore was closing on that in a hurry. It falls just outside the line. Foul. So a long strike. And once again, I think the Ozark batters are trying to go to right field with some of these. Looks like they're working the right-handers are working to bring their hands in when they swing. 0-1 pitch, taken high for a ball. Third baseman for the Hillbillies, Braden Bumucci, the batter. He'll get a 1-1 offering for Mason Vick. Low and in the dirt, ball 2. Not a lot of traffic for either teams on the bases.
We're an hour and 10 minutes in, and we've had 6 base runners?
Yeah, something like that. As the Hillbillies hit in the top of the 5th. All right, here comes the 2-1 offering. Fastball taken for a called strike 2. I'm starting to recognize when the umpire is going to call a strike.
Yeah, he has his habits.
Yep. Well, they all do. Every umpire does. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the way. Vick, the hitter stepped out of the batter's box, and Vick airmailed it to the backstop. It's the umpire granted timeout there. Vick did the right thing. Don't try to stop in the middle of the motion. Just throw the ball. Go ahead and go through with the throw. Don't hurt yourself. That timeout was granted kind of late. 2 down in the inning, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ozark 1, Pottsville nothing. Top of the 5th. Now Mason Vick brings it home. Low in the dirt, ball 3.
Got to come right back at him, right across the pipe here, Mason.
Yep, 3-2. Bermucci's probably going to get something to hit there. Nope, fastball misses.
His second walk of the game?
I show that as his first walk of the game. The other walk was by Case.
I mean Mason's first.
Oh, yeah, that's his second walk. So the next hitter, Ryder Harridge, the center fielder. 2 down, 1 on. Bermucci takes his lead. Vick brings it home. Misses, low for a ball. One-0 pitch coming now for Mason Vick. Mason slowing things down a little bit, maybe kind of gathering some thoughts here. Trying to refocus a little bit. 1-0 pitch coming. Swung on and missed.
He just needs to do that 2 more times.
Lights are on now here at the ballpark.
Throw angry.
1 ball, 1 strike pitch. 2 out, 1 on. 1-0 Ozark. Vick with a throw to first. Base runner dives back in, but he almost came up short. Mergel had held the tag on him. I'm not sure they might not have called him out. You expect to slide a little bit diving back into first base, and Bermucci dove right into that kind of mud bog and went nowhere, but he got his hand in front of the tag. Vick brings it home. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Same pitch?
Yep. And I got a feeling it's probably coming here.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, son.
That's right. Runner Bermucci at first base reaches via the walk. 1-0 lead for the Hillbillies. Mason Vick wants to keep it there. 1-2 pitch coming. Swung on. High fly ball. I don't think this is going to stay in play. Nope, gets out of play. First baseman Mergel and the catcher Morrison were there had it stayed in play, but it went behind the backstop, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch. Yeah, that's only 2 walks in the ball game for Mason Vick. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 run. It was unearned. One-two pitch coming with the runner at first base. Bermucci starts way out there, now comes back. Vick is not paying attention to him. Runner goes high. Throw down to second base is in the dirt, and the base runner has second base stolen. You don't even worry about that.
Now, if I'm Mason, I ain't worried about that runner at all. I got 1 more strike to get on the batter, and that's it.
Nope. Mason didn't check on him last time, and to tell you the truth, I wouldn't check on him this time. Just concentrate on getting the batter. Runner is in scoring position for the Hillbillies. They'd like to push across an insurance run. Vick brings home the 2-2 pitch. Misses outside, evens the count at 3-2. Richard Case, the shortstop, would be the next hitter if Heritage can keep this alive. Big pitch coming here. Vick does check the runner, now brings it home. Swung on and missed, and strike three will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, one runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth with the Hillbillies leading the Apaches 1-0.
We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it because first is who we are.
Isn't the home half of the fifth inning where the Razorbacks scored like 18 runs this weekend in the 3 games?
Yeah, I have a graphic. Oh my gosh, I lost it. Hang on, I'll find it again.
I watched all 3 of those games. In fact, that's about all I did this weekend was watch baseball. I watched all 3 Razorback games. I watched 3 Cardinal games, and I watched 2 Rangers games.
Here's just the stats. 3 wins, of course. Arkansas scored 51 runs to Missouri's 9, had 46 hits to Missouri's 13, 7 home runs, and 33 strikeouts. That's an incredible weekend.
How good a find has Davalon been for the Razorbacks?
Oh, my.
Getting him out of Division II.
Just him, Koziel, Iredale, those 3 guys, and then what about the Vahiva boys? I mean, my gosh.
Well, how's that for an international team, too? You got a Canadian, an Aussie, and 2 Hawaiians or is it 3 Hawaiians? 2 at least.
I think just 2. We might have another one coming up, but, I mean, we have an incredible team right now. They're just so much fun to watch.
Cade Kendrick's back to the mound. His first pitch, a bunt dropped down by Snow. It goes to the third baseman, and his throw across is in time. Good idea. Just maybe a little bit too hard on the bunt. I like the idea. Get the defense to make some plays here if you can. But it's hard to bunt with aluminum bats, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
It's really hard to deaden that baseball.
You almost have to pull it back when you're making contact.
Yep. 1 down in the inning, 1-0. Hillbillies lead it. Second baseman Jace Aiken steps in. He takes a rip at a fastball and straight back out of play toward the barbecue grill.
Quite frankly, I'd rather strike out than try to bunt.
Well, normally I would agree, but here you try to get something started. Make the defense make some plays or something. But to their credit, they have. That was a good play by Bermucci at third. Ball in the dirt.
Every time you say Bermucci, all I can think of is Panucci's from Panucci's Pizza and Futurama.
Well, the problem I have when I say Bermucci is there is a very famous pool stick manufacturer called Mucci Q's.
Oh, yeah.
Swung on, ground ball. Shortstop is Case. He has it up and across to Ross at first for the second down of the inning. Back around to the top of the inning, Eli Morris will hit. Eli is 0 for 2 in this game. Fly ball to the center fielder, then grounded out to the second baseman. Boy, I wish you hadn't said pizza.
I know, right?
Hillbillies lead at 1-0. Apaches bat in the bottom of the fifth, 2 down in the inning. Morris steps out of the batter's box. Now he's back in, ready to go. Lefty holds the bat up high as Kendrick brings it home. Fastball taken outside for a ball. Might have also been high and outside. Apaches haven't been able to get anything sustained going. They had a bit of a rally with 2 outs, but Kendrick worked out of it. Swung on and missed on the fastball. That was in a good spot. The outside corner at the bottom of the zone. Cade Kendrick will bring home a 1-1 pitch now to Eli Morris. Pitch taken high and away for a ball. Two down, nobody on. 2-ball, 1-strike count to the Apache leadoff hitter, Eli Morris. He bats third in this inning. Here comes the pitch. Check swing, called strike. I don't know if he swung or if the pitch was a strike. I think from the umpire's indication, the pitch was a strike. Two ball, 2-strike. Pitch coming here. Swung on. High fly ball toward left field. This may be trouble. Diving attempt comes up just short, but the throw at second base is going to get the runner there. Eli Morris tried to stretch the single into a double, and he is out 7-4 for the third out of the inning. So you do give him a base hit, and then he's out trying to stretch it to second on a good throw to second base. Apache scored no runs, no hits. There was one hit, I'm sorry. No runs, one hit, but because of the tag play at second, nobody left on base. Top of the sixth coming. Hillbillies 1. The Pottsville Apaches nothing.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
It's so hot, you're gonna think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not gonna believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
There comes a time in all of our lives when we need the help of legal.
Back in Pottsville, the Apaches hosting the Ozark HillBillies. Ozark trying to hand the Apaches their first conference loss. They lead this game 1-0. The only run we had in this game came back in the second inning. It was scored by the pinch runner, Thane. It'll be Case, the shortstop, leading it off for the Hillbillies, followed by Childress and Rawson. If anybody gets on base, Evan King will hit. Mason Vick up on the hill for his sixth inning of work. His first pitch on the way. Bunted in the air, and Mason Vick makes a spectacular catch. Was that you were saying about Mason fielding his position?
Yeah. That's 4 or 5 fielding plays he's made this game alone.
Fly ball to the pitcher is the first out of the inning. Blaine Childress will be the next hitter. Hillbillies trying to sneak a bunt down to see if they can get a rally started again. I like the idea. Catcher Blaine Childress steps into the batter's box. Mason Vick's first pitch changed speeds, and it's fouled out of play. One to nothing, Hillbillies lead this game. Both starting pitchers have gone the distance. We'll worry about tomorrow's game tomorrow. Mason Vick brings it home. Fastball over the outside corner, called strike 2. Both of these pitchers have done a good job painting the black on both sides of the plate. Mason Vick brings home the 0-2 pitch, taken high for a ball. One to nothing, Ozark with the lead. 1-2 pitch coming, swung on. Line drive over the second baseman's down for a hit. Morris in center field cuts it off to hold it to just a single, but a solid single it was for Blaine Childress, the pitcher.
That was number 7.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's the 32 is the first baseman.
Colton Rawson, the next hitter, with a runner on base. 1 out in the inning. Rawson is 0 for 2. He's hit 2 fly balls, one back to the pitcher, then the other to the right fielder. I believe we have another courtesy runner. J.J. Santachi is the pinch runner. He takes his lead. It's a big one. Swung on, fouled back. Hillbillies have a couple of stolen bases in this ball game, and it did matter in the scoring. One pitch with one out of the inning. 1-0 Hillbillies lead it. Vick brings it home, swung on, fly ball, first baseman Mergel tracking it, and with that big mitt, he makes the catch. Vick and Morrison both were looking at it, but that's the first baseman's play all the way, and a nice job by Mergel for the second out of the inning. Evan King will step into the batter's box. He's been retired on a bouncer back to the pitcher and then struck out in the fourth inning, struck out swinging. Saltachi takes his lead, swung on, high fly ball toward left field, Snow tracking it toward the line, and he'll make the catch for the third out of the inning. The Hillbillies scored no runs. They had one base hit. They left one runner on base, no errors in the inning. All the outs that inning via the fly ball, by the way. Let's go to the home half of inning number 6. The Apaches trail the Hillbillies 1-0.
Just like the Apaches, I am here to help you score big. Regardless if you are buying or selling, I'll guide you every step of the way. You can call me at 479-970-5079 and we'll connect the dots on getting you where you are trying to go. Speaking of going, let's go Apaches!
Keaton Ashmore will lead things off for the Apaches. He had a base hit in the first inning. He was stranded at first. Ozark's lead is 1-0. Cade Kendrick, their pitcher, going for his 6th inning of work. He has given up no runs on 4 base hits. Offense has been at a premium in this game. Hard to find. Let's see if the Apaches can get the bats going here in the bottom of the 6th. It's getting late early. A quickly played ball game. All right, we are ready to get underway here. Cade Kendrick with his first offering to Keaton Ashmore. Ashmore steps out. Let's see if Ashmore tries to ambush a fastball here on the first pitch. Kendrick with a first offering. He was thinking the same thing. He turned it over, but it missed outside. Ball 1. Pottsville needs base runners. There have not been many of those for either team, to be honest. Next pitch on the way. That's taken low and in the dirt for ball 1. Or excuse me, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Right fielder Keaton Ashmore trying to get things started in the 6th. Swung on, fly ball toward left field. This is sending the left fielder back, and it is a long out. Good catch. He tracked that well. Taft played it very well, went all the way back to the fence, but not quite far enough, and there's one down in the inning. The wind has basically died down to nothing, so I can't say the wind killed that one.
Now it feels like baseball weather.
Yep. Ashmore gave it a ride, but just not quite long enough. One down in the inning. Corey Greathouse, the Apache shortstop, is the next hitter. Pitch taken high for a ball. Cade Kendrick has pitched a good one so far for the Hillbillies. He brings this fastball home, and it's a called strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Kendrick brings it home, swung on. High fly ball toward right field. The right fielder charging and makes, no, he doesn't make the catch. He dropped it. Right fielder came charging in but could not make the catch. And good hustle out of the batter's box by Greathouse, and he is standing at second base.
That's why we use two hands to catch the ball.
Evan King had a beat on that, but as you say, he tried to make the one-handed catch, and it just went through his glove, basically. Sorry to say, you probably have to score that in E.
Oh, yeah.
Score that in E9. And Greathouse is standing at second base. First error of the ball game for the Hillbillies. Each team has one error. That's pretty good. Greathouse leads away from second base. Kendrick checks him, brings it home. Check swing, taken for a strike. And once again, I believe the pitch was a strike. The umpire did not indicate that the batter had swung. Brady Morrison is the batter. Swung on. High fly ball going toward the right side. Hits the top of the backstop and goes out of play. Brady will stay alive to see another pitch. Morrison would like to pick up the base runner Greathouse from second base. He reached via the error. One down in the inning. So 1 on, 1 out, 0-2 count to the cleanup hitter for the Apaches, Brady Morrison. Kendrick steps off, wheels to throw to second, and Greathouse dives back in well in front of the tag. Greathouse, I think, may even take a step bigger lead now after that pickoff attempt. 0-2 pitch coming to Morrison. Brady digs in. Kendrick brings it home. Pitch taken high for a ball. Maybe another one of those show him the fastball and try to get him out on the off-speed pitch low and away. Kendrick has been very good at that so far this ball game.
Yeah, he has. He's had a great game.
1-0 Hillbillies lead it. The Apaches have the potential tying run at second. One down in the inning. Brady Morrison the hitter, but he's down to the count 1-2. Fastball taken out of the zone. Catcher Childers held it there. He wanted the call, but the umpire was having none of it. Two-two pitch coming here. Kendrick to Morrison. Pitch taken high for a ball. Brady Morrison will get a look at a 3-2 pitch. This game in La Planto, I just saw the biggest mosquito I've seen in my life. Well, second biggest. Hillbillies lead at 1-0. Runner at second base. That's Greathouse. Morrison gets a 3-2 pitch. Powerful swing, but the foul is straight back. Morrison will get another pitch. He's definitely making Kendrick work. I don't keep a pitch count, but Morrison has had a chance to look at several here. Brady grounded out to the shortstop and then hit a fly ball to the center fielder in his two previous at-bats. He'll get a 3-2 pitch here with Greathouse, the runner at second base. One down in the inning. Hillbillies by one. Kendricks, 3-2 offering. Swung on, fouled straight back again. Morrison has got him timed. The last two foul balls have been straight back, and that's an indicator that you have the pitch timed. You just got under it a little bit. Be interesting to see if Kendricks has confidence in an off-speed pitch here. See if he can kind of change Brady's timing at the plate. 3-2 pitch. He did change it up. Morrison drives the ball towards center field. The center fielder, Harridge, is back, makes the catch. Greathouse tags, goes to third. The throw will get him at third base.
Man.
What a throw from center field.
Wow.
Harridge makes the throw. So the double play will end the inning. What a good throw. No runs. There were no hits, one error, and nobody left on base. Top of the seventh coming. Hillbillies lead it 1-0.
We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it. Because first is who we are.
Crowd still buzzing here about that throw from Harridge in center field. His throw was a one-hop strike. Well, did it even take a hop to their third baseman? And basically, once Bermucci had it fielded, he actually had to wait on the base runner to get there. Nice job by the outfielder getting into good throwing position and then making a strong throw to third base. That's 2 base runners the Apaches have lost on the bases in this ball game. Pottsville trails at 1-0. Hillbillies would like to get some insurance runs here if they could. It'll be Kendrick, Ross, and Taft, the first 3 hitters for the Hillbillies. It was Ross's position in the batting order that has scored the only run in the game. It was scored by the pinch runner, Fain, back in inning number 2. The Apaches have had a runner thrown out at second. They've had a runner thrown out at third. Had the bases loaded one inning, but failed to push across a runner with 2 outs. Apache offense has been knocking on the door. They just can't get through. And Mason Vick will need one more shutdown inning. Pottsville on defense for the top of the 7th. First pitch on the way to the pitcher, Cade Kendricks. He takes a ball. Ozark might just as soon he just stand there and look at 3 pitches so he can get back out to pitch the next inning. Takes a ball in the dirt for ball 2. Scoreboard says 1-1. Next pitch on the way, taken high. Two balls and a strike. Vick brings it home, swung on. Vicious cut. It came up empty. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mason Vick has gone the distance so far. Ozark has 1 run, and it's unearned. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
It's a great curveball.
I show that as the 5th strikeout of the game. 1 down in the inning. First pitch for a called strike to the next batter, Jackson Ross. Mason Vick has pitched a very good ball game. The only run given up has been unearned. Next pitch. Taken just out of the zone for ball 1.
Steve, can you see that?
Not very good, no. The sun.
Oh, I got you.
Nice try, though. I like the idea. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Mason Vick to Jackson Ross, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Vick brings it home. Swung on, fly toward the left field side. The left fielder had him played way around a pull, and he wasn't going to get to that either way. Strike even the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the left fielder, Snow, is playing like a pull hitter. Pitch taken outside for a ball. 3-2 count. 1-0. Hillbillies lead it 1 out of the inning. Mason Vick brings home a 3-2 pitch. Taken outside for a walk. And I would assume we'll probably get Fain again as a pinch runner.
I would assume so. Guess not.
Well.
Big man staying on the bag.
Well, and that's Fain getting ready to hit. Is he batting in Taft's spot? I'm not sure what's going on here. And we're not in a position that even if the umpire shows there's been a lineup change, we'd see it. Yeah, that's Fain. He's going to bat here, and I guess he's pinch hitting for Jesse Taft. I did not know that if you enter the game as a courtesy runner, you could pinch hit. Lots of things about baseball I don't know, though. So Fain will be the batter. First pitch to him, bunted, popped up. Morrison makes a diving catch. Wow. He catches it for the out. What a play by Brady Morrison. He was on a full sprint headed toward the left field fence, and he dove and made the catch.
Sorry we couldn't get the angle on that, folks, but it was one heck of a catch.
For the second down of the inning. Yeah, we're back around to the top of the order. Braden Bermucci will be the hitter. Runner still at first base. Jackson Ross reached via the walk. One nothing. Lead belongs to the Hillbillies. Bermucci is 0 for 2. He did reach via the walk and steal a base. Curveball, swung on, fly ball. Snow is tracking it, running on his horse, and cannot quite get there. Strike one. Snow was hustling all he could to get over to that pitch, or that fly ball. But it falls harmlessly. Boy, again, what a great catch by Brady Morrison, the backstop for the Apaches. He got a good jump on that popped-up bunt, and he was sprinting as hard as he could go and dove and made the catch just in front of the fence. That would have hurt if he'd have gone into that. I mean, I know there's padding down there, but
yeah, right.
I'm not going to go diving into it. 0-1 pitch with 2 down, 1 on. Ozark leads 1-0. Mason Vick brings it home. Fastball taken for a ball. Apache dugout barks about that call, but it was out of the zone. A ball and a strike. Runner leads away warily from first base. Pitch on the way. Curveball. Sweeps outside. I don't know if that's a curveball or a sweeper, but it was ball 2.
His arm came through at a weird angle.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure. They hold Ross at first base. I'm a little surprised. Vick's pitch taken for a called strike over the outside corner. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Mason Vick to Bermucci. Bermucci started a swing, checked swing. Good stop by Morrison to keep the ball in front of him, and it's ball 3. Well, you'll see the base runner Ross taking off here. 2 down, 3-2 count.
Run on release.
Yeah, you got to make sure he comes home. I'm a little surprised the first baseman still holds him on. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Gets past Morrison. He picks it up. He says it's a foul ball. The umpire called it immediately. Foul ball. So Bermucci will have new life. And the umpire made that call immediately when he saw that Morrison did not hold it. Hit his glove, but just fell to the ground. Well, that's one of those things as a catcher you can't practice either.
No. There's no way to.
Can't say I'm going to go out and practice catching foul tips today. So we'll have another 3-2 pitch with a runner at first. He's off. Pitch on the way, swung on, fouled straight back. Good battle here. Braden Bermucci and Mason Vick battle it out here in inning number 7.
They talked about Phil about his throwing form back there to Mason.
Now they throw it at first. Ross dives back in ahead of the tag. Just making sure he's paying attention because you know he's running on the pitch. 3-2 offering on the way, taken out of the zone, ball 4. So 2 base runners have reached via the walk. Kind of thought we'd have a little stoppage of play here. Coach Sandifer comes to the mound to visit with his hurler. Mason's got to be getting tired. His 7th inning of work has been within a strike 2 times of getting out of the inning. Cade Kendrick, the first hitter in the inning, was a strikeout victim. Vane, the pinch hitter, Jackson Ross, the next hitter, reached via the walk. Then Fane, the pinch hitter, popped up a bunt that the catcher Brady Morrison made a great play on for the second out of the inning. Bermucci got 2 looks at 3-2 pitches, and then he walks. So the Hillbillies have runners at first and second. Vick steps off the mound as the coach for the Hillbillies, Cody Bullard, decides he wants to come talk to his hitter. A little gamesmanship there by Coach Bullard. Now he's going to come to the plate and talk about what? We're going to have a pinch runner?
Yeah, it looks like it.
So now they do have a pinch runner for Ross. Or courtesy runner, I guess is the correct terminology. That's Cooper Perrin. So Cooper Perrin will be the base runner at second base. He represents a big run. Hillbillies lead it by the narrowest of margins, 1-0. Harridge, the hitter. Fastball taken just off the plate for ball 1. Runners take their lead away from second and first. Vick brings home a fastball over the inside corner for a called strike. This may be nothing but fastballs, too. You can tell Vick is wearing down a little bit. Ryder Harridge, the center fielder, he's 0 for 3 in this game, struck out twice. Curveball shows you what I know, fouled out of play, strike 2. So once again, Mason Vick within a strike of getting out of the inning unscathed. Ozark leads at 1-0. The Apaches would like to keep it here to see if they could rally for a win in the home half of the 7th. Harridge steps back in. He's down to the count 0-2. 0-2 pitch coming, taken low and in the dirt.
Can't
2 balls and 2 strikes. Nope.
Just go right at him, Mason. Right down the pipe. Nothing fancy.
You get the base runner out or get the batters out. What the base runners do makes no difference at all. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Taken outside and low for a ball. Now Morrison wants to go out and talk to Vick. Maybe some encouragement, maybe to give Mason a little bit of rest here. He's worked hard in this game. He's gone 6 2/3. 6 2/3, giving up 3 hits, giving up 1 run. It's unearned. 1-0. The Apaches trail. Here comes the 3-2 offering. Base runners go. Pitch taken outside for a ball. Third walk of the inning. Richard Case will be the batter. He reached first base via the walk. Also reached via an error in the 3rd inning. Vick brings it home. Fastball taken for a ball. No place to put this hitter. Mason Vick goes out of the windup, brings it home. Fastball taken over the corner for a strike. Bases loaded with Hillbillies. 2 down in the inning, 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball toward the middle. Second baseman fields it, bobbles it, and everybody's going to be safe. Second error of the ball game on the Apaches, and that one hurts. Everybody moves up one. The pair and the pinch runner, or the courtesy runner rather, scores. Case is safe at first base on the error. Aiken rushed that play a little bit. He had a toss to Greathouse covering second for the out, but the ball kind of rolled up his arm. 2-0. First pitch taken for a strike. Tough inning for the Apaches here. They've been within a strike and getting out of it 3 times now. Ground ball. This is going to be a tough play. It's in the hole. Third baseman comes up with it, but he has no play. Playing Childers for reach. We're going to call that a base hit. I don't know that they would have had him. That ball was in the hole. And Ramucci scores the second run of the inning, third run of the game. Score that a base hit, I believe. Colton Rawson will be the next hitter. Apaches have had some bad luck this inning. The 2 balls that were hit, neither one of them were hit hard. The defense just couldn't quite make the play to get out of the inning.
It's a bit of a tough break for the Apaches. Just balls died in the infield.
I think we have a pitching change for Pottsville.
We do. It's number 13.
Corey Greathouse, the shortstop, will come on to pitch. Did we move Vick to shortstop?
I believe so, yesterday.
That would be my guess. So Mason Vick will finish the afternoon, having gone 6 2/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. I think one of them is earned at this point. I think the way things stands now, 2 of them would be unearned. Vick also responsible for all of the base runners on base now, as the Hillbillies still have the bases loaded. Colton Rawson will step in against Greathouse. Yeah, you could kind of see in that inning that Mason Vick was tiring. They wanted him to get that one last out if they could. But the Hillbillies have 2 runs home in the inning, and they lead at 3-0. Greathouse is in. Tall, lanky right-hander. And he'll inherit a tough jam. Bases loaded. There are 2 outs in the inning. See if Rawson goes after the first pitch. He's hit 3 fly balls in this game. He's 0 for 3. And I think Greathouse, even with the bases loaded, is he going to work out of the stretch? Yep. Rawson steps into the batter's box. Greathouse comes set at the shoulders and brings it home. His first pitch is a fastball for a called strike. Bases are loaded. Hillbillies have the sacks jammed. Greathouse with an 0-1 pitch to the hitter Rawson. Pitch taken low and out of the zone. Ball 1. Apaches need to try to get out of this game with no more damage if they can. Trail at 3-0 in the top of the 7th. Great House, 1-1 offering, taken low in the dirt, ball 2. No place to put Colton Rawson. The bases are already loaded. Two-one pitch coming from Great House to Rawson. Swung on, ground ball outside of third. He evens the count on the foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Apaches again are 1 strike away from getting out of the inning.
Before I forget, when I get home after this, I'm going to repost the game. I've got it recorded so it's not all choppy from our lack of bandwidth.
All right. Great House. 2-2 pitch coming. Swung on, fouled out of play. The Hillbillies have fouled off some very good pitches in this ball game. Pitch on the way. High and out of the zone for a ball. Another 3-2 count. Runners lead away. They'll be off with the pitch with 2 down. Here we go. Swung on. High fly ball. Deep center field. Morris back at the wall. Makes the catch, and the Apaches are out of the inning. However, the Hillbillies plate 2 runs. There was 1 base hit in the inning. There were 3 runners left on base. The Apaches will hit in the bottom of the 7th. They need 3 to tie, 4 to win, and we're back in just a moment.
Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Welcome back. Apaches bat in the bottom of the 7th. They need base runners here as the Hillbillies plate 2 at the top of that inning. I think one of them was earned. A couple of misplays by the Apaches have hurt. In fact, we are ready to get back underway here. The umpire is trying to get a baseball out of play here. He finally picked up somebody in the dugout, say, "Hey, come get this ball." He called him by number.
Yeah. Robbie ain't going over there to get it.
Yeah. Well, the umpire calls you by number. You say, "Yes, sir," and come get the ball.
Yeah, that's the way that's supposed to work, for sure.
Well, the Apaches need to get some base runners going. Mason Vick will lead it off. He'll be followed by Maddox Mergel and Brandon Shadden.
Just need to come up and make solid contact.
In fact, old-style baseball, you'd take a strike here, see if you couldn't get a walk, but the game's not played like that anymore. He did. He took a strike over the outside corner, strike 1. What a good outing so far by Cade Kendrick, the pitcher. Next pitch on the way, taken out of the zone for ball 1. He has given up no runs while scattering 4 base hits in the game. 3-0, Ozark leads this contest. Kendrick will bring it home. Swung on, high fly ball toward the first base side, the first base dugout, and it's out of play on top of the dugout. And I'm glad the first baseman, Ross, saw that because I didn't. I tracked him toward the ball. I couldn't see it. I had no idea where it was. 1-2 count now to Mason Vick, leading off the bottom of the 7th. Apaches trail at 3-0. Kendrick brings it home. Swung on and missed. 1 down in the inning. For Kendrick, I show that as his 3rd strikeout of the game. One out of the Maddox Mergel, the next hitter. Maddox is 0 for 2 in this game. This Cade Kendrick has been really, really good. Pitch taken high for a ball. Tough time of the evening for hitters to see, too. The lights haven't really taken over, and it's still dusk here in Pottsville. 1-0 pitch. High for ball 2. Mergel hitting now. Brandon Shadden would hit next, and if anything gets going, we'll see William Snow. Kendrick brings it home, swung on, fouled back. One down of the inning. The Apaches trail it 3-0. Cade Kendrick has done a masterful job of shutting down the Apache offense. His 2-1 pitch on the way to Mergel. Swung on. The line drive is going to be foul down the right field line. Evens the count at 2-2. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th. Apaches trail it by 3-0. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Taken low and in the dirt for a ball. 3-2 pitch, and I would suspect a fastball coming here. Hillbillies do not want to give up walks. Fastball. It was, but it was low in the dirt. Well, the Apaches have one runner on via the walk. And suddenly that wind's getting cold. Mergel will walk. We sure this isn't being played at Wrigley Field? Well, now Coach Sandifer coming to the mound. I don't know if we're going to get a change in pitchers here or not. We are in the bottom of the half of the 7th inning. The Apaches trail at 3-0. We'll be back with more Apache baseball after this timeout.
You're going to think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not going to believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
No pitching change by the Hillbillies. Coach Sandifer just out to visit his pitcher. 1 out of the inning. Apaches have one runner on. They need one more to bring the tying run to the plate. Brandon Shadden will be the next hitter. The right-hander steps into the batter's box. Cade Kendricks, his game to win or lose, it appears. His first pitch taken for a called strike 1. The Apaches have the right approach. They're taking a strike. They need base runners. Mergel is the runner at first. He leads away. I'm mildly surprised they hold him. Pitch on the way, swung on, and fouled out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, the base runner for the Apaches at first base, Mergel, his run doesn't mean much. That's why I'm surprised they're actually holding him at first. 0-2 pitch coming. Kendrick at the belt, brings it home. High and outside for a fastball. Brandon Shadden will get a look at a 1-2 pitch. In the bottom of the 7th. Pitch on the way. Swung on, high fly ball toward right field, and it's going to be out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch, taken high for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Two ball, 2 strike pitch. Shadden will get a look at a 2-2 offering. Swung on, hit hard through the hole between short and third, and the Apaches will bring the tying run to the plate. Shadden with a nice job. Solid base hit. Fifth base hit of the ball game for the Apaches. William Snow will step into the batter's box. 2 on, 2 down. The wind has died down a little bit. The ball might carry some. Snow will get a look at a pitch from Kendrick. Pitch taken high and inside for a ball. Kind of thinking this may be Kendrick's last batter. 2 on. 1 out. Apaches trail it 3-0. Swung on. High fly ball. Shortstop calls for it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Apaches down to their final out. It'll be up to Jace Aiken to keep this ball game alive as the Apaches trail it 3-0. He does represent the tying run. Aiken, the second baseman, has a walk, and then he was retired with a ground ball to the shortstop earlier. Cade Kendrick within and out of picking up a complete game shutout win. Leads at 3-0, but the Apaches still have 1 out left. Got to get 21 outs if you want to win it. It's taken high for a ball. That's the beautiful thing about baseball. You've got to get that last out. Apaches battling but trailing 3-0. 1-0 pitch. Fastball taken over the outside corner for a called strike. Evens the count, out of ball and a strike. Cade Kendrick gets the pitch, comes set. I'm betting this is a slider. Fly ball toward right center field. Center fielder, right fielder chasing it. Diving catch made by Harridge in center field, and that is the ball game. Diving catch in center field is the third out and the final out of the ball game. So the Ozark HillBillies win this ball game. They get a total of 3 runs. The Hillbillies came up with 4 base hits and win the ball game by a final of 3-0. Mason Vick takes the tough luck loss. Cade Kendrick goes the distance to pick up the complete game shutout. And with the win, the Hillbillies improve to 7-5 on the year. The Apaches fall to 10-5. Thank you to Cogswell Motors, Pediatric Playhouse, Premier Facilities Group, Fleet Tire, Van Horn Construction, G. Ray's Trucking, Denali Water, Redmond Sports Event Center, Firestone, Huntington Learning, Zach Wojtek, The Old Bank, Frank Griffin Oil, Sparks Dental Service, Farm Credit, Newton's Pharmacy, Westside Family Clinic, Tyler Riley, Lighthouse, The Granite Shop, La Huerta, and Phil Wright, all for making Apache baseball possible here on the live stream. Justin, any final thoughts on this one?
Oh, it's a heck of a game. Tough loss for the Apaches today. I hope they can come back tomorrow and just shake this loss off and get back in the win column tomorrow.
Yep, right back at it tomorrow against Waldron. I believe that's going to be a 4:30 start, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
4:30 the start time. We'll have that stream for you here on ASN. I'm Stephen Glenn. Thanks for your time. This time, till next time, so long, everybody.